Hi scholars, welcome to TRS 333, Biomedical and Healthcare Ethics, or Bioethics for short. I like to call my students scholars, especially you upper class students, because I know that you guys have been trained well in your fields, you guys are learning a lot, you know a lot already, you guys have great skills, you really are young scholars in training. And that's what we do here at CUA. We take academics seriously, we want you to become scholars, and so, why wouldn't I call you that in this class, all right? So pretty soon you'll be bioethics scholars too, so you guys are going places. So we're going to call this class bioethics, but we could really call it theological bioethics, because in this class we'll look not only at important questions in ethics, but we'll look at those most often from the perspective of theology. Now this does not mean that you have to endorse any of the positions that we read in this class or that we talk about. We're all thinking through these things together. They're tough issues. They're things that don't admit of very easy answers, okay? So there's no testing of your beliefs or your commitments, or there's no asking of you to endorse a certain position so that you can get a grade. You will have a chance to endorse positions that you think are the right ones, but you won't be tested on whether you do endorse the right ones, right? You'll just be tested on whether you know the material that we've read, that we've talked about, whether you understand the principles, the issues, the topics, all of the stuff that we talk about, okay? So there's no presumption of faith commitments in this class. You don't have to be Catholic, you don't have to be Christian, you don't even have to believe in God to do well in this class. All you have to do is work hard, work smart, and you will do well, okay? So don't worry if you're not familiar with theology. You can still do great in this class. Now, I am Catholic, and you may be able to tell in this class that I often think the positions we read that Catholics argue for are often the right ones, right? But that doesn't mean that I don't take seriously all the other positions that we'll look at, and that doesn't mean that I'm going to judge you poorly just because we disagree with each other, okay? That's going to happen, right? These are tough issues, and we wouldn't be learning if we didn't disagree with each other sometimes. All right, but don't worry. There's no testing of your beliefs or anything like that in this class, right? Theology is the study of a discipline, right? It's not just the endorsement of positions. So really, what you need to do in this class to do well is just follow the directions, do the readings, look at things intently, and work hard. That's basically the key to success, as you'll find. So in this class, we're going to focus primarily on Catholic bioethics. Now, why do we do that? Is that because the professor is a Catholic and he thinks the Catholic Church is right on everything? No, that's not why we're going to do that in this class. That's not why we're going to focus on Catholic theology. There's a few reasons that I've decided Catholic ethics, Catholic bioethics is the thing we're going to focus on. First of all, as a service to you, we're going to narrow down the scope of what we're going to study, right? This is a high-level class that needs to have a defined subject matter, right? So many of you guys have taken 300-level classes in your fields, right? If you're in politics, maybe you took, the political philosophy of Locke, or, the engineering of bridges, or the biology of the brain, or something like that, right? You can see that those are many ways to get at very focused topics, right? Whereas, you might take Intro to Political Theory, or Intro to Biology, or something, Intro to Engineering, right? Those kind of introductory classes can span a variety of approaches in any field, right? And that's good. That helps you get into the field, but we're at a 300 level here, so we're not just going to do a survey of what, people are saying from every different perspective on these issues. We're going to focus so that we can get more in depth into these issues, right? So in part, we focus on Catholic ethics because that's what I know, right? I'm a PhD student in the School of Theology at CUA, and I study bioethics as one of my fields. And, if I tried to do Muslim bioethics or Jewish bioethics or something for the whole semester, I wouldn't teach you very well, and you wouldn't learn much, and we'd all be disappointed, right? And lastly, you couldn't be surprised that at the Catholic University of America, right, I've got my polo on here, that at CUA we're going to focus on Catholic bioethics, right? That just makes a lot of sense. So for all those reasons, that's why we're going to do Catholic bioethics in this class. It doesn't mean exclusively. We're going to read some Jewish thinkers, some secular thinkers. We're going to read a lot of people who disagree with what the kind of average Catholic position is, or the central Catholic position is. So we're not gonna forget about all those other people out there who disagree with what the Catholic position is on any topic we're going to read about. But we are going to use the kind of Catholic position as our centering, right? As kind of the way we help focus and keep ourselves accountable to a limited number of materials. So what is bioethics anyway? Bioethics is a study of how to do good and avoid evil in the fields of medicine, healthcare, and any of those sciences that are aimed at helping human health. So things like psychology, biology, biomedical ethics, anything like that that's somehow aimed at helping humans achieve health, improve their health, or even go beyond what they're capable of naturally, right? Any of those fields can deal with issues that bioethics cares about. So I think most of you will find that you will have some connection to your own fields of study, right? Even if you're like a political science major, or I think we call it politics here at CUA. If you're a politics major, you might care about, well, why do we want to have healthcare policy anyway? What is a good healthcare policy, and why? Why is one better than another? We'll deal with some of those questions in this class because those are all related to human health and how to best achieve human health for people. So what is ethics? Well, ethics is a study of how to do good and avoid evil in general, so in any area of life. So if you want to do ethics, you got to start with foundational issues like what is the good? What is a human action? What does it mean to do something evil, do something bad, right? What do good actions towards your neighbor look like? How should you be a good student or a good sports fan, right? Any of these things are ethical questions, right? They all have to do with doing good, avoiding evil, avoiding actions that are somehow second best, right? Ethics cares about anything in that area. And this is important for you to realize that bioethics is a subfield of ethics because we're going to start the class by looking at some foundational issues in ethics, right? We've got to figure out, what is ethics anyway before we can get to bioethics and studying cases and hot topics and the really interesting stuff that people talk about all the time, right? Well, you can't talk about those things well if you don't have some kind of foundational commitments about ethics, right? If you think doing good just means maximizing your own pleasure, well, as we'll see in one of our readings, that means you're going to have a funny kind of ethics and a funny kind of bioethics as a result, right? But if you have a more robust kind of ethics, then maybe you'll have a more robust kind of bioethical theory as well. So that's why we're going to start with foundational issues. One thing we should also realize about ethics gets a new name, I guess you could say, in Christianity. It's usually called moral theology. So that just means the study of how to do good and avoid evil in light of how God has revealed himself. For Christians, how God has revealed himself in Jesus Christ. So we'll talk more in the next couple days about what's different about moral theology, but just keep that in the back of your mind, that there is something unique about how Christians do ethics. Okay, a couple more things business-wise, and then I'll introduce myself, and then the video will be finished, and you guys can get on to the fun stuff like posting about yourselves and introducing yourselves to me and to your classmates. So first thing, in terms of business, you got to know how to use Blackboard in this class, okay? Everything we do is going to be linked through Blackboard, so it's going to be crucial that you know how to navigate it, how to use it, that you don't have any technical difficulties getting through it. So if you do have problems, computing problems, or for some reason you can't access something on Blackboard, first of all, you can contact me. If it's something like I put up a bad link or something, of course I can fix that, and I would be happy to hear from you that something doesn't work. But if it's something more complex, then you're going to want to contact CPIT at CUA, okay? So their contact info is on the syllabus. It's also on Blackboard. If you can't log into Blackboard, I guess that doesn't apply to you since you've seen this video, right? But if at some point in the semester, you have to change your password and you can't get on the Blackboard and you don't know what to do, that's when you want to contact CPIT. So or if you have a computer problem and you can't afford to take it to Apple or wherever, call CPIT up or email them or however they want you to contact them and ask them for help. That's what they're there for. The other thing, if you're going to go on vacation, if you're going to the beach, you're going sailing, or you're going to Rome or whatever, you still have to keep up with the work in this class, okay? It's only 8 weeks. There's no time for somebody to take a week off, okay? So if you're going away, you got to plan on getting your work done, okay? So unless you've scheduled a camping trip in the Sahara Desert or something, you should be able to finish your work even while you're away, right? Everywhere you go is going to have a place where you can access the internet some way or another, okay? So if you have to be creative, do whatever you got to do, but you got to keep up with things, okay? So there's no excuses in terms of, not getting your work done, right? Just because you went to the beach, that's not a good reason to blow off class, okay? So plan ahead. Let's get it done. If you don't, of course, I'll have to penalize you because, I can't give you a good grade for things you haven't done, right? So just keep up on that. You will be able to turn things in, a couple days early usually. So, if you're going away for the weekend and you don't want to work on Saturday, there's a good chance you will often be able to finish your work ahead of time. But just be careful and check and make sure nothing's due on Saturday that, like a response to a discussion is sometimes going to be due on Saturday. And, if you're at the beach, you may have to take an hour or two away and go find a place to use the internet so that you can get in on that discussion and do your work for the class, okay? So there'll be more details about how to work with that kind of stuff forthcoming from me. So don't fret, if you've already planned a vacation. We'll make sure you can get your work done one way or another. Lastly, who am I? Why am I teaching this class? Why am I qualified to teach this class? So my name's Josh Evans. I am a moral theology PhD candidate in the School of Theology. So as a moral theology student, I know a lot about bioethics, and I've even taught this class before. So I have lots of experience that is relevant to this class. So, trust that I know what I'm doing. I've taught a lot, so I have a good idea of what a good class looks like, how to teach students, and how to motivate you guys, and how to be fair to you and help you do your best. So I care about you guys all doing well. That's why I teach. So see me as an ally of yours and an advocate rather than a foe or an enemy or something like that. Okay, we all want you to do well at CUA. So just trust me that I do care about you. So I study moral theology. I've taught this class before. So what else is interesting about me? Well, you should know my wife is Jamila Evans. Some of you may know her already. She works in campus ministry. She's the campus minister for women's ministry and pro-life issues. So we are very tightly wound with CUA. We spend lots of our days at CUA, and we love CUA. So I'm happy to teach you guys as CUA students. The topic I'm most interested in bioethics, you guys will post on this. The topic I'm most interested in is cooperation with evil. So what does that mean? Is Mr. Evans, does he like to do evil? Well, you'll know what cooperation with evil means pretty soon in this class. So you should recognize that when you look back at the end of the semester, you're going to see that you have learned so much in this class. There's so many vocabulary terms and concepts and ideas that right now you have no idea what they mean. But at the end of the semester, you're going to say, oh yeah, I know what that means. I'm an expert on this. So you should be excited about that. You're going to learn a lot. So Jamila and I, we have 2 young sons, and we live at Georgetown University, where I'm a chaplain in the dorm. So I'm with college students all the time. I know what your lives are like. I love college students. You guys are fun to work with, exciting people. You're going places, lots of promise ahead for you. So I'm happy to work with you guys as your teacher. So I guess that's it. One more memorable thing, I'm a big Chicago Bears fan. So if there's any Bears fans out there, glad to have you in the class. You won't get any better grades, but maybe in our off time we can chat about the Bears. So that's it for the video. Where do you go from here? Get onto the module on Blackboard that says May 20th, 22nd. Follow the directions on there, do it well, and you're on your way to getting a great grade in this class and doing well and learning a lot about bioethics. So that's it. Thanks for watching the whole thing, and I'll see you on Blackboard.